Right then, we are here. We are having another stream. It is that time of the week again, isn't it, everyone? It's Sunday afternoon, so it is time for another stream. Do remember to subscribe and like the stream if you enjoy them. And if you could share a video or two to your friends and family, people who like trains, then please do. Just helps to promote the channel, helps to bump up the subscriber count, and also helps the videos get recommended to more people. Now, while we're talking about subscribers, I think I've overtaken Kurt, unless Kurt's had another boost. I think I'm on 220 subscribers, and Kurt is on 219. On the main line says, that's wrong comment. On the main line says you can hear now. I couldn't hear before. That must have just been you. I could hear the intro music on my end, and Kurt could, so it must just have been yours. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome back to another stream from my channel, HEMR Railway. Today it's a normal Sunday running session stream. Kurt has said that's a good lineup of locos there, George. Thank you very much. So while we're on about that, to start off, we've got my request to run in the 9F with the containers, 47 with all of its coaches. Got Tornado with 2 blood and custards, 2 maroon coaches, as I say, don't know the name for proper coaches, and Pullman coach sandwiched in the middle because I can and because I'm really happy with how that's turned out. Oh, we're both on 220 now. You must have gained another. Do let me know in the chat if audio and video is all okay. I think audio's good on the main line, can hear now, and well, I presume you can see them because Kurt has said that's a good lineup of locos there. So yeah, I think we're okay there. Do bear in mind that comments from the live chat take a while to come through to StreamYard, so it may take a minute or so before I see your comments. Today's stream should be, as always, about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes long. I'll probably go to just before 6 today, just depends what we end up doing and who's in the stream and other stuff like that. So yeah, I will roll the intro and I shall see you very shortly. We're back then. It probably is on the main line. I mean, I'm in the UK, obviously, so distance from I'll say Leeds. I'll do distance from Leeds to Canada. I'm not in Leeds. As you know, I don't tell you where I live, but obviously I do put places near me in the title. Obviously, you've seen Leeds Station has been in the headlines of the titles of things before, and what do you call it? Church Fenton, York, that's been in the title before. So you are 3,738 miles away from me, so that's quite a long time for things to go over Wi-Fi. Anyway, we're not here to talk technical speak. We're here to run trains, take some requests, and I've got some things to talk to you about. So I'll get my agenda up. So first thing to talk about is ballast and platforms. Yes, I am writing this up right now while I remember. Ballast and platforms, and then scenery. Then I've got new loco. I've got new loco to talk about, the mainline 45, but that's not working. I came up and tested it 2 minutes ago because I was going to run it over here, but for whatever reason, it's slowed down to a grinding halt. It just goes do now. But it was working on that Friday video. Short, I showed you. It's a bit weird. So I've got that to talk about. And I think that's about it. Not much this week. You're on 111. 111. Wow. Congratulations. That's good, is that? Congratulations. Feel very happy for you. You're not that far. You're only 109 away from me and Kurt. I'm only joking. But yeah, so congratulations on getting 111. I know you've been waiting for quite a while. You've obviously jumped up quite a bit, haven't you? Because you were on 94, and now you're on 111. I think you're on 94 last time you told us. So what's that? 17 you've gone up, if I can do maths. So, oh, right. Okay. I did think that was quite a large jump. Ah, well. You actually believe me, says Kurt. What do you mean? My chat's disappeared now. It's another good thing about switching to OBS. Anyway, I'm actually going to try that 45 because I was using it on the second radius controller, which is not the best of controllers. So I shall try it on the fourth radius while Kurt tells me what I actually believed in. What, did I believe that you were on 220? On the main line's on 96. Oh, right, you actually believed him. Right, okay. Some confusion there. That's fine. I think the second radius controller is, let me quickly do the maths, 18 divided by, it's 1.5 amps. This controller can do 1.5 amps. This controller can do 5. This one can do 2.25. And then the other side in the small controller that does this side in over here is like 0.3, which is terrible. But yeah, the one that my granddad built, this one, the one that powers this line, is very, very beefy. Wouldn't like to short circuit that, although I have done before, and I don't want to repeat. Repeat that. So I'll see if I can. No. Oh, it sort of goes. Like, I don't know. I haven't fiddled with it since Friday. Don't know what's up with it now. Well, it certainly wasn't as dead as this. Oh, it's moving now, but I think he just needs a run-in, you know, because it's been fully serviced and cleaned and oiled. I think it just needs a run-in. Now, the only reason I haven't run it in is because on the third and fourth radius line, so where the 47 is and where the 9F was, then I still need to remove some ballast because ballast has got stuck in between the sleepers and it's loose there, which affects running. And also it's raised too high above the rails on either side. So, you know, the detail, the bogey detail or the like sanding pipe detail on the 45, it rubs on there. Whereas on the second radius line, I've actually spent the last week or so scraping stuff off the side here. So as you can see, it's a lot thinner on the side here compared to here. And that's to make room for my platform, because obviously I want my platforms close to the carriage doors, or what will be the carriage doors when it runs, but I don't want it miles away. So as you can see, platform will be about there, so, you know, the gap's not too great, it's fairly realistic, and that's like that all the way along, more or less. Some loose bits just need readjusting, so I'm using the same wood from my baseboards as I am for platforms, because if I had to buy a platform, it'd be too expensive. Probably have to get them custom made, and that's not good. I'll try the 45 again. I wonder if I've removed enough ballast to get it running on the second track. I mean, it goes backwards. It just doesn't do forwards. Oh, well, it does. It's speeding up considerably, though. That looks a lot closer to the things than it actually is. Let's try and move it. The only annoying thing is it gets stuck and then I have to reach over to the back of the thing. Okay, I'm actually going to make a change to what trains we're running, because I really want to get this run in so that... No, the gears aren't off a bit, Kurt. I readjusted the gears, actually. Yesterday. No. What day was it yesterday? No. Friday I readjusted the gears, so there's no problem with the gears. No wheel cleaning, that's all been done. It is missing a traction tyre, and that will be in the description when I come to sell it. Well, if I can get it working, that is. Well, on my layout they do, Jaden, because, well, as you know, fourth radius runs that way, third runs that way, second runs that way. So technically, I mean, if you're in this cab, then forwards is that way and backwards is that way. If you're in this cab, then forwards is that way and backwards is that way. But of course they have forwards and backwards. Anyway, I'm going to change the engines round. And we're going to replace Tornado with the coaches. Can't get my words out today. We're going to replace Tornado with the 45. And yes, I know what you might be thinking. Oh, yeah, you're running it in with coaches. You're supposed to run it in by itself. Well, yeah, it has had a couple of laps by itself. But I personally think that running it in with coaches also, it actually puts strain on the components. You know, it's not just moving itself along. It's actually got a load to pull, which will put a little bit more strain, a little bit more, slightly more stress on the components, which will actually, in theory, make it running quicker. You know what I mean? I'm expecting this to jump all over the place with ballast, and in fact it already has done. So, where's my chisel? I can't believe we're doing... This is supposed to be running train stream, and we're, 15 minutes in? And we haven't run any trains yet, and I'm starting to chisel ballast. Anyway, I've got to prove to you that this 45 does work, so that you can buy it if you do so wish to. This is what I mean by removing ballast. I get my chisel and my hammer and just hit the chisel like that, and then that just removes the ballast, because there's a little bit too much ballast in some areas, because the ballast spreader that I bought was absolutely useless. It was a complete waste of £12. You know, everyone who makes a video using these ballast spreaders, oh, it's wonderful, it's brilliant, you just run it along and then you spray it with water and then you glue it and it's fine. No, absolutely not. For some reason, startled when that lit up then. I'm like, oh, why is it lighting up? And then I realise it's the flipping coach that I put lights in. On the mind list is in a Saturday video, but I'll watch too. Okay, thank you very much. Crazy Games fan says, hi, Kurt. Welcome to the stream. Crazy Games fan, I think you know Kurt. So, good. Unfamiliar. Oh, like... That's weird. It was running lumpily on this controller, but not on this one. Maybe it's got a bit revived now. Although it's still better in reverse. I wonder if it'll manage it with the coaches. Let's give it a go. I don't know what's wrong with it. Maybe too many coaches. Tell you what, I'll run it in without coaches, but before I do that, I'll get the other trains going. We might as well. And all the cameras are in a weird order. That's not fun. That's better. Let's get the other trains going. Crazy Games fan says, can I ask a question? Of course you can. Unless it's a personal or private question. How big is my layout? You should have seen the last time I tried to measure it when Jason from Barnabas Junction, he asked that, and it was an absolute pain. I knocked over about 3 different things that were running. But, you know, I shall measure it for you. This could be fun, trying not to appear on camera. I'll dig out my tape measure. I'll just measure the whole room, because if I actually have to measure the sides of the baseboards, that means, you know, it'll be a bit of a pain just trying to measure the side of the baseboards. I'll just measure the whole room. Let's try and get the 45 running. You see, it's going now, slowly, as it should be running. But I don't know what's up with it. Maybe it needs a bit of a run-in. I think that's what it needs, just a good run-in. So I might keep that running in for the whole next hour and a half. Good idea, Jaden. I shall do that. Well, it's not jumping about on this newly removed ballast area, which is good. Derailments fixed. Oh, look, it's really... Look at how fast it's got now. I think it just needed a little bit of a warm-up. I mean, it is an old engine. Wrong one. Bleak Hole Micro says, hello all, nice big area for running. Thank you very much, Bleak Hole Micro. Thank you very much for joining. Nice to see you here. It's really sped up as this 45. Anyway, I'll measure how big the room is. Thank you very much, Crazy Games fan. Much appreciated. So the whole room is approximately... Oh, giddy amp. I shall get my blue tack and stick the tape measure down, otherwise it'll end up whacking me in the face. Here we go. I'll stick that there. Okay, I'll call you Josh. Thank you. So the whole room is approximately 6 foot or 186 centimetres wide. I am shouting because it's quite noisy in here. I don't know how that's going to appear on the end of the stream. So 6 foot wide, about 186 centimetres, or approximately, well, and approximately, without smashing any cameras or precious trains, I can hook the tape measure. In fact, I can probably do it down this side where there's a bit of a notch. Ah! Not quite working this, and I can't exactly climb onto the baseboard in the middle of a stream. Let's try it this way instead. I'll try not hook it. Oh, I've snagged the coach. Not good. Not good. Right, the results are in. It's approximately 6 foot wide by 10 foot long, or 180 centimetres wide and about 340 long, roughly, because my tape measure's only a 3-metre tape measure and I ran out of tape. So I'll post that in chat. In fact, I'll note it down. So it's about 180 wide by about 340 long. That's obviously the whole room. That's the whole room, but the middle section that I'm sat in now is the middle section that I'm sat in. Obviously, I sit in the middle of all the boards. The section that I'm sat in is 63 wide and 140 long. So I'll do the maths on that. 1.8 times 3.4, 6.12 minus 63 times, what was the figure? 140. That's so it's 6.12. Take away 0.88. 0.88. Okay, so I've got 5.24 meters squared of space. Derailment. I'm going to stop the trains now and I'll talk for a little bit in peace and quiet. I've failed at the 9F stop. I've also failed at the 47 stop. It's not going very well, is it? I've failed on my stops again. Well, that's better. That's considerably better. And the 45 is doing much better now. Look at that. It's a bit noisy. Well, it's about as noisy as a well-serviced Lima loco. But I think with now it's had a little bit of a run-in. I think it's doing much better than it was. The lubrication must have just not got round or something. As you can see there. Slow crawl. I think the wheels will need another little bit of a look over before I send it out, because obviously they could pick dirt off the track. No, they don't, Kurt. They have metal axles with the plastic insulators like on the end of the axle right behind of the wheel, so it's just a normal axle as far as anyone else like you'd see on a coach or something. But I think it's doing okay. It might need another little bit of a look at, but I won't be running that today because I don't want to damage it. If it needs another look at, I'll have another look at it later. The motor isn't warm, thankfully. Right, I'll go back to the questions. I shall make sure I've got, what was it, the figure? It was 5.24 meters squared. 5.24 meters squared layout space. I shall add that into my docs whenever. Save. Let's save that note. Save. All done. Right, so Jaden has 122 locos, 255 pieces of rolling stock, and I have, well, let's do locos first. All right, so what? I'm not going to count the 45 because that's the loco I bought to do up and sell on, and it's not going to be permanently in my possession. However, the Marklin engine I showed last week, I am going to count because my uncle says I can keep that until I'm fed up with it. And I think that'll be quite a long time. So I'll count that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 locomotives. 12 locomotives. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because they're the 2 unfinished Pullman coaches. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 12 and 22. Model Railway Legend has joined. Afternoon, Model Railway Legend. Nice to see you here. Thank you very much for coming. Lee Cole Marcro says he needs to pick up a peak. I remember them out of Manchester Victoria in the 80s. I've driven that route quite a lot on Train Sim World. In fact, we're going on to the Northern Transpennine in probably a couple of weeks after I've done the second part of my Ned Shunter Part 2. So we're moving on to a 45 on Train Sim World shortly. So we will be doing... We'll have a peek in the Train Sim World video shortly, and then we might move on to Train Sim World 2, because I got that for my birthday. That was another present I didn't mention. But yeah, Afternoon Model Railway Legend hasn't quite finished his video. Where is Golden Eagle, George? It is here. I shall get it out for you. It works, but for some reason, whenever you put the tender body shell on, it stops working. And I haven't bothered to investigate it because, well, ballasting, but... I can have a quick look now if you want to request that. Here it is. Now I have to dig out my screwdriver because I can never remember where I put the wretched things. It's in there. Is it the flat one or is it the cross one? It's the flat one. Good. Yeah. So there's the body shell. Now if I put it on, I presume it'll work. I'm not quite sure what's wrong with it. I think the brushes may or may not need replacing because they're a bit knackered. Right, let's give it a whirl. It is in properly. Just don't get any power. This has turned into a fixing thing stream, hasn't it? I've been chipping ballast away. I've fixed I've helped the 45 along. I've been doing all sorts today. I have had a problem with there being too much tension on the brushes, so I'll just try. Yep, I have, Kurt. I haven't had it apart since that stream. Well, I might have taken the body shell off to make sure everything were working. You see, look at... Yeah, I think that's the problem. Too much brush tension, because obviously you want enough brush tension so that they have good contact with the commutator, but you don't want too much, otherwise it'll like force it right against the commutator and it won't move. Although I didn't hear any buzzing. So if I put the tender cover loosely on, will it still run? Yes, it will. If I clip it on, will it work? A bit difficult to clip on with all the extra wires I put inside. You know, when I put the wire from the screw on here to the motor contact here. Kurt is requesting a HST. Interesting. Does it work now? No. Okay, maybe it does. But not nearly as well as with the tender body off. Has anyone got any requests, by the way? You can be putting them in while I try and fix this, because it's a bit sad. Can't get it to work. Oh, that's why a spring's popped out. It's not on the dimple inside, it's popped out. Both of them have popped out. That's unusual. Let's try that without losing the spring. That'd be really not good. Yeah, any requests? Pop them in the chat now. Gold needle, please, with coaches. Well, hopefully it'll work. A spring seemed to have popped out, and I think there was too much brush tension. Let's pop the tender body on loosely. Doesn't go at all now, what the? Take some pressure off. More tension. It's very strange, I've never had this before. $47 with its coaches and brake van. Well, that's an easy request. Brake van, says Kurt. Is there something on the body? Don't think so. Well, that's on the mainline's request sorted. They just pop the brake van on the back end of it. That's not actually going to work, I don't think. The brake van is going to have to go in between. Well, it's going to have to be two coaches, then the brake van, and then the coach, because the brake coach hasn't got a coupling on the end of it. So it'll have to be brake van just sandwiched in the middle. Can you run the diesel passenger that is in the siding? I don't have a diesel that's in the siding. There's no diesels over here, no diesels over there. None here either. I don't have any diesels in the siding. I haven't used the sidings for quite some time. I'm really not sure what's wrong with this. I mean, the pins come out for a start. That might be a problem. And it's ain't shorting, otherwise I would hear it. Is it this wire? This wire looks... Oh, that's why. I'm not sure. Oh, you mean the red and black train? Unfortunately, on the main line's always already requested that. But I can put the 66 on instead if you want. I can do 66 with coaches instead, which is another one of my diesels. Or I can do that. Or I can do the 08 if you want a diesel. That's one of Pete's favourites. Pete Clark, he comes in sometimes. Right. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but this black, you won't be able to see it, but this black wire, you might be able to see there's a split in it where the insulation has come apart. There's a little bit of metal sticking up, so that wire's come apart. Now, do I get the soldering iron out and fix it now, or do I not? I mean, I could do. I'll take my 9F off. While the trains are running, I could be doing that. Because if I don't, then I'll just put it off to another day and then keep putting it off and then it'll never get done. Okay, you say. Okay, I shall put the 66 on for you then. The 66 is a nice diesel as well. Feels weird putting, you know, the wheel space on the 66 is much closer together than on the 45. Just putting the 66 on the other side of the track and I'll wheel it round shortly. We've done all sorts this stream. We've chipped off bits of ballast. We're fixing train. Oh God, yeah, Kurt. Fixing stream now. Well... If you read the description, it says normal Sunday running stream, but this is not normally how it goes. But we've got pretty much an hour left of the stream, so we've got plenty of time for trains. So on the mainline's request is set up. Model Railway Legends request is set up. If the 66 will pull it away, and it will. Pullman's looking good. Here comes the 66. There's the 66. Right. Forgive me if I don't talk for a few minutes because I'm going to do some soldering and try not to burn myself. In fact, I tell you what, no, we shall not set the trains going yet. You can watch me fix this because that's fun. So, I'm going to have to unplug the charger for this phone, which means it'll probably bong at me. No, it won't. So do not disturb. I'll plug the soldering iron in, like so. I shall get my stand out so I don't just have a red hot 300-degree wedge in my hand. Let's turn that. That's already on. Right, I'll fix it on this side. Make sure all the controls are off as not to short the thing out, which I just did. They're all off. Right, soldering stand. That's far too close to the camera. I'll try. Where can I put it that it's not going to be in the way? No, that's in the way. No, I'm left-handed. That's the problem. I'll tell you what. No, that's not going to work either. Can probably push it off to one side like this and have it in front of me. You can't see it. So this has turned into a fixing stream. Watch and learn. Watch and learn how to break your engines. Let's get the wire stripper. This should actually be quite interesting. I don't think you've ever seen me. Well, you have, but you haven't necessarily seen me solder live. That'll be quite interesting. I've got to get my solder. No, it won't, Kurt. Well, it's painted anyway, and all my controls are set to off anyway, so there's no actual voltage on the track. That's going to be really annoying. Tell you what, I'll put it over there, so you can still sort of see what I'm doing. So we don't need much wire. It's actually a spade connection, so I guess I should crimp it rather than solder it, but I can't crimp it because I don't have a crimper. And I could use this, but it might not work that well. It won't short, Kurt, no. I can put it there. I am, yeah. It's split for whatever reason. I don't know why. It probably just has. Probably faffing around the other week trying to get it to work. So we're going to cut that off. I'm away, you can't actually see this. I'm going to cut. Let's try and move it closer. So we're going to cut the excess off. And pull that. So it was a combination of, well, so here it is. You can see there. It's not really that focused, but it's split. I think it will work. So I can't pull it out the crimp because I'll damage the crimp and it won't go back on. So I'll just cut the wire off. And this wire is obviously going to be much thicker. That's the thickness of the wire I'm taking off. Oh, wow, that actually focused then. I'm genuinely surprised. That's the thickness of the wire we're taking off. And let's get a bit of wire here. Don't need much. And this is the thickness of the wire that we're putting on. So yeah, I'll strip this. I'm not going to do it on camera because my fat fingers will get in the way. Do I really have to get my pliers out? I should have stripped this before I took it off, shouldn't I? What a buffoon. Right, that's one end stripped. Soldering iron is at temperature. Well, I presume it's at temperature. It's had long enough. Do I really have to get my pliers to strip this? Can't grab hold of it. I am replacing the wire cut. On the main lines off out for a swim. Nice. Right, I'm going to have to get my pliers. Fumbling about. I think everyone's here now just to watch me see if I can actually fix the damn thing. And some weird fly things just come up the loft. That's going to be fun. Clunk. Right, here we are. Wire. Let's dig out my solder. Well, it's not actually my solder. It's my granddad's I'm borrowing because I ran out and I was working. Well, I ran out of solder and I was working on my Pullman coaches. So I thought, well, I don't have time to order any soldering because if I don't do at least one coach, I won't get onto it. And then that'll delay ballasting and then it'll delay doing all the scenic work that I want to do. So my mum were going to my granddad's that day because we're just going all day. So I said, will you ask him if I can borrow some of his solder? And it's lead. Oh, sorry, excuse me. It's actually leaded solder. So it's a lot better than the lead-free stuff that came on a soldering iron. I shall do the soldering on a towel because I normally do it on my heat-proof solder mat, but that's on my workbench and I'm not working. Getting my workbench out and solder and faffing about getting that up and up, cameras and that. Can I solder close to the camera or is that going to ruin everything? Let's have a look. Let's see if I can solder over here. You can't really see that well. I'll try and do it over here. Although it's kind of in front of the tripod for me, which is not brilliant. So there we are, solder. Let's just flow a bit on there. And yes, I am being careful not to set this on fire. It's not really that hot. Not enough for it to spontaneously combust. Let's solder the crimp now. At least flow some solder onto it. And then we'll try and join the other wire onto the end. Blow on it to cool it down. Ah, thanks, Kurt. That seems to have joined. Could probably put it over there. I know it's not going to be the clearest because it's a stream, but crimps didn't solder that easily, presumably because they got a bit of oxidisation on. Let's solder the end of this crimp. Probably belt away half the old wire. That'll be all right. There we are. Let's not burn myself and just shift it round there. Ow! Doing some sewing, are we? Well, this is just a towel. It's what I use for cleaning up all my teacup mess on my bench and, you know, random bits of crap that just get strewn around and oil spills and all. Ow, that's hot. Right, soldering iron off. We'll leave that to cool down. Solder away. Wire strippers, we don't need them. Don't insert a joke about wire strippers, please. So, here's my finished piece. It's basically just I am, sorry, I didn't mean to say I am. That sounds like I'm blowing my own trumpet. I've only been doing it for about 8 months, 9 months, but, you know, once you practice, and because I've put 3 or 4 printed circuit boards together, and I've put, you know, I've done a lot of soldering in tight spaces and on their plumbing coaches. Once you get doing it, once you get doing it, you know, you get used to doing it well, if you know what I mean. Like, you can have probably a week on it and be pretty good if you do enough. Because, as once said by Electro Boom, if you know who his channel is, he might think he's a bit of a thicko, but he actually does know what he's doing. As once said by a wise man. No, flipping heck, I've bent the crimp. I tried to remember his quote now. What was it? What was his quote? Oh, that was it. If you learn by that was it. I've remembered his quote now. If you learn by... Oh, I forgot the quote. I keep remembering the wording of the quote every time I come to try and say it. You learn by experience if you experience what you learnt more often. That's it. I should put that on my quote wall now. You learn by experience if you experience what you learnt often enough, or various iterations of that. It doesn't really matter. Kurt says he's wanting to fix his model trains now. Good. I'm glad I'm helping you do that. Well, having the motivation at least. I know sometimes it can be a bit annoying. But I don't have any I can fix now without parts. Oh dear. Sorry to hear that. That's partially why I buy trains, to do up and then sell on. Because, well, I just like taking things to bits, and apparently I always have. I probably always will do. Well, we've still got 4 people who are interested. I've just kicked the tripod. Have I heard this saying? I've heard this saying, however. Well, I've heard this saying. I've put it in chat because it's a bit hard to say out loud. Wise men talk because they have something to say. Fools talk because they have to say something. I vaguely remember that. I feel a bit mean for putting that thing in the chat now because that quote was actually quite useful. Oops. Yeah, I've managed to bodge the crimp back on. Woohoo. Why have I done that? That's just been really stupid now. I've got to bend this really thick way all the way around. I don't think it matters which way around this copper crimp goes on because it'll go on either way because that's just how these things work. Right. We might as well put it on the right way on the track because it's going to run for Kurt in a minute. I'm sorry if this has been a lot of rambling on, but as on the mainline I said, wise men talk because they have something to say. And I had many, many things to say there. So I think I'm qualified as being at least somewhat wise. Right, so let's give it a whirl. I was stupid. Kurt says, I was stupid with my 33. 33, God, what is this stream? Language, English lesson, fixing, chipping away at stone. Kurt says, I was stupid with my 33 because for the past month my 33 wasn't working, it's because I put the wheels in the wrong way. Yeah, that's what happened with my J50 that you've now got. I put the wheels in the wrong way. That's what that, obviously as of Tuesday's video, all of my videos before my 1 year YouTube anniversary thingamajig were privated, but on that I've broken something, it's time to fix it video, and I still need to private all the live streams and all the videos in the actual playlists because I've still got the playlists that were just full of old videos, so I need to get rid of some of them. But on that term, I've broken something, it's time to fix it one. That's what I did on my J50, and as you saw, I spent half hour trying to fix it, which was a pain. So that's just what you got to be careful with HEMR engines. Right, here we go. Yes. Oh, it's not going backwards now. Oh, I'm just stalled. It works. I think it's time for a 3-camera celebration. Even though the motor's exposed. I do feel bad now. And the rug's getting no giddy nor. Bloody hell. Right. It works. That's on full wave. What about half wave? Probably just not as fast. Yeah, because this engine, it requires quite a high, like the upper end of the voltage scale that, it requires the, it probably requires, well, let's test it. Let's get my meter. Oh, it's an electronics tutorial now. Make sure I don't appear on camera. I think this, well, some engines will kick in at half a volt or something stupid like that, which I think the 66 does and the 101 does. But some engines, kick in at quite a high voltage with respective to the 0 to 12 volt scale. So we shall test. So I shall measure from, will you be able to see the scale? Yes. So let's put it to maximum. So let's see where it kicks in. You know, when it first starts crawling. Probably not that high, to be fair. Let's just try and get contact on. Is it reading anything? No. So there, it's kicked in at 3 4/5 of a volt. Why am I saying it like that? It just sounds stupid. So it starts moving. You know, it's noticeably and obviously moving at... Yes, I'm aware I've got my probes the wrong way around, but does it really matter? No. It kicks in at like 3.5, 3.8 volts. But if I get it properly moving, when I switch into full wave, you know, so a decent speed is that speed there. And I'm aware I'm stopping it from turning, which will... so there, it doesn't start moving properly until about 7-8 volts. So, you know, it needs to be on full wave. Anyway, electronics lesson over. On the main line says, guys, you don't need to say that to make fun of me just because I got gaming. Well, the only thing, I did have a girlfriend, but not for very long. And I'm not going to talk about that experience. But effectively, I ended up, you know, Valentine's Day, I took her out bowling, Valentine's Day presents and all that. And she effectively, I tried to be in a relationship with her, but she didn't try to be with me, even though she actually asked me out and I didn't ask her out. But so she asked me out and then didn't make any effort whatsoever. So it was a bit of a waste of money. I think I wasted about 20 quid. But it's not something I like to talk about, so we shall not proceed any further. Oh, what's derailed now? Anyway, shall we actually get some trains running, everybody? Kurt, what was your request? You wanted coaches, didn't you? I ain't got any now. I'll have to pinch some. Let's just use 2 coaches. Let's say it's on a movement from one depot to another. Why not? You're right, Kurt. We should be going back to trains. So, can we have a 3, 2, 1... Start the trains in caps and exclamation marks in chat, because that's what we had for stop the train. So can we have start the trains in the chat, please? She didn't try to be in a relationship, Jaden, if you know what I mean. She didn't make any effort. You know, I went to sit with her and all of her friends at school in lunchtime. I tried to make conversation, but, you know, I tried to make conversation with her at their table and she didn't even, well, she barely acknowledged I was there, and she never came to sit at our table and talk to me, so it were her fault. She just didn't make any effort in the relationship whatsoever. Start the trains, let's go! Off we go! Golden Eagle is back up and running. The Pullman coach is not. If I get copyrighted for singing a random tune that I made up in the last 5 seconds, I'm not going to be happy. Bit too fast, I think. Let's try going in a more controlled manner. In the part of trying to talk to each other and trying to get to know each other better, Jaden, I think that's going a bit too far. We're only in it about 3 months, for Pete's sake. Let's try a bit slower. You know what, Kurt? I have too. You know, for the past couple of weeks, I haven't been bothered to try and fix it with ballasting and that, but I suppose you've all learnt something as well at the same time that I have. There's some loose ballast there as well. I'll get me vac out and get them off while I'm at it as well. So it's been an electronics lesson, a chiseling lesson, a woodwork lesson, No, a DIY lesson, a fixing lesson, and now it's a cleaning lesson. Oh! I've just whacked Golden Eagle with my back. So, cleaning lesson over. Should stop it from jumping about now that stupid rogue bit of ballast has gone. Anyway, Curtis said that was funny when he said Golden Eagle is back up and running, but the Pullman coach isn't, the way he said it was funny. Thanks very much. Well, that's helped it somewhat, I think. Jeremy Clarkson with a jet engine powered vac. Power! Thanks, Kurt. I'm not normally that funny in real life, but somehow when streams and videos come into fruition, I somehow suddenly become funny. It is indeed, Kurt. All my locos are running. Next week, it will have exploded and burnt an hole in the roof of the loft. I think it's time for some more chiseling. I've just noticed another bit of ballast that's come off. That one. And that one there. Don't worry, I'm not going to stab myself. Probably. Is that? Yeah. Let's get the loose bits out. Might also be that bit there. Could be. Could be that bit there, actually. That made a difference? Yes, it has. 3-second job that I've just noticed on stream. Done. I have seen that on the main line. My steam engine safety valve is blocked up. Help! I'm going to explode. Kurt can't stop laughing, apparently. Let's give the 47 a little bit more beans. Fun fact, all of these motors have an equivalent of the Ringfield motor in them. Ringfield motor, Ringfield motor. Lima one has a pancake motor, which is basically the same thing but older, or newer actually, I suppose. In fact, I've got quite a few engines with Ringfields, or Ringfield style. Ringfield style, that's a pancake, but same thing. Ringfield, that Markling engine's got a Ringfield in it. The Airfixer's got a form of a Ringfield. The 45 mainline has got the mainline equivalent of a Ringfield. All the other ones, XO 3 and 4 in the Triang ones. Interesting, Kurt. I went on Flying Scotsman the other week. Should be a video coming, not this Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, on the East Lancashire Railway. So yeah, got a video coming on the ELR in 2 weeks. So not this Tuesday, because this Tuesday's video is an announcement on my 250 subscriber special. But the week after this Tuesday will be the ELR video. I have got Tornado, Kurt. She was running at the start, at the very start. Oh no, she wasn't actually. Tornado was on the track at the start, but that was before I got Golden Eagle on them. No. Tornado was on the track at the start, but I replaced it for the 45, didn't I? Because I wanted to run the 45 in for a bit. So, just for you, I'll put Tornado on for you. Now, Tornado, it needs some new pickups. Tornado, as you know, needs some new pickups because, as you know, 2 of them I've had to bodge on some homemade ones because they got snagged in the wheels. And I think, Kurt, you said that a while ago, didn't you? You had to get new pickups for your Tornado because it snagged in the wheels. Well, that happened to mine. As you saw on the stream, I had to bodge in 2 replacement homemade ones. And also, the body is slightly ruined. Just on the roof, there's a big brown splodge for whatever reason. And then here, I've had to re-glue in the cab support because I was pushing too hard on the back one day, trying to get the cab, the thing come off, and it snapped. So I think the next spare parts I need to get are some new pickups for this loco. Because I've had to put the pickup on the outside because the plastic insulators on the front wheel have gone. But I have got another 040 chassis, so I'll swap everything over, the body, the motor, and I'll buy some new pickups. And what I'll do is I'll put the body and the motor on the new chassis because I've got another spare chassis, 040 chassis, and with intact insulators. And then what I'll do is I'll put the new pickups on this. And then I think after that, a new body for Tornado and a new set of pickups. Because it runs slightly lumpy in reverse. You might be able to see. It's a little bit shaky in reverse. It's a little bit shaky in forwards, but it's a lot more smooth in reverse. So for you, Kurt, I'll put Tornado on. And you say you want an 060. Would you like the 66? In fact, I'll tell you what, we'll stop the trains. I'll leave Tornado going for you. But we're going to do some requests. So, Kurt, do you want the Fowler 4F on the back, or do you want the 08 on the back as the 060? Completely up to you. So, just let me know. You want the 4F on the back of Tornado, or would you like the 08? because then you get to see Tornado and an 060. Proper messed up that stop, didn't I? Not to worry. So, what would you like on the back? Apart from that, 2 more request spots open. So, pop your requests in the chat and I shall do them now. 08 you want on the back. Okay. That should work okay. I think the 08 kicks in at pretty much the same voltage as Tornado for whatever reason. I think the 08 needs its wheels cleaning, but it still works. I'll just give it a brief test. Yeah, I'll have to run it slowly, but that seems to be working fine. The Pullman coach is only flickering, by the way, because they both start at low voltages and it's not enough to bypass the rectifier and the resistors and the LED voltage, drop voltage. If you understand that, then good on you. If you don't understand it, then in the upcoming video where I fit, I'll do a tutorial of how to retrofit lights to coaches. Then I'll tell you all about the circuitry, which is fairly simple to understand, but it also means explaining a lot of other electronic stuff, but I think it'll be fine. I was thinking to make it into a 2-part series, but I thought that's just going to drag it on far too long. Will I get a Ginty? Probably not. Any requests, anyone? Any requests? Kurt, you can have another if you really want, if nobody else puts them in, which I don't think they are doing. Any requests? Any at all? You can have any engine apart from the Class 45. I tell you what, yes, if you want to see the Class 45 running, then yeah. I think it ran in for a good 20 minutes at the start, so just let me know, peeps, what you want. Peeps? God, what am I turning into? Let me know your requests. I don't think there's many people in the stream. People are probably going on for tea now. So, you can have more than one, although you can't have all 3 tracks to yourself. 47 light, good choice. I shall run it on the outside line. I still need to think of names for these. I'm thinking of naming the lines after, you know, my favourite locomotive builders or, you know, favourite railway people or stuff like that. Will I get a Peckett? Maybe. They're just a bit expensive. And 40 for 90 quid. Yeah, they might be very detailed, but you still don't get a lot of loco for your money. And that's kind of what I value. I mean, that's why I've got this. This weighs about half a kilogram. And you get a lot of loco there for what I paid. Plus 3 containers come with that as well. You can pick something else instead, Kurt. You have got Tornado after all, but Jaden wanted the 47. I know. Why haven't I done this before? I mean, yeah, sometimes I like to do this here. I like to show the engines bit and button here, but I just thought I put the 47 on here, I had Tornado here, I could put the other engine on up here, and then we've got them spanning 3 cameras. Maybe, maybe not. The model shed is still laughing. Let's find out when I made that comment and he started laughing. Kurt, you have been laughing for 14 minutes. Yeah, they are, but I got it from a model shed. I got it from a model shed. I got it from a model shop, along with them 3 things. Containers for 90 quid, which is not bad. 9F with anything of my choice. Okie doke. Another thing I've noticed with my 9F is, not through any fault of my own, you know, I don't pick up, I'll show it here. I don't pick up the engine by its handrails or anything like that, but this handrail on the other side has come loose. As you can see, now slides side to side. So when I do my updated reviews, because obviously all my reviews I've done are now gone, and I'll be remaking them and quite a few of my early videos again. aside from the actual tender sprung buffers not being sprung that well and the coupling up constantly falling out, which is just now, and I'm getting increasingly irritated, the handrails started slipping now, so I'm going to have to very carefully glue that back in without getting the typical super glue white stains all over the black paintwork. Which is a bit annoying. It's not something I expect to have to do after less than a year of owning, gluing handrails back in. That's something you expect to see on models that have been played with by irresponsible children and might have cost 40 quid off eBay, not 110 quid. Not really good enough. But other than that, it's still a cracking model. I have to get it on a pinhead curt and gently put it in because I'm absolutely sick of having to thread that in every time. You said 9 for anything of my choice, right? How about we have 9F and Virgin Coaches, because I haven't done that before and I think black and red look quite good together. Let's get it out of the way. And it's just also had a quite significant derailment, which is not fun. Have I ever had the 9? Oh yes, I have had the 9F derailed. I have had the 9F derailed before because it doesn't like pushing things around curves backwards. That'll appear in my review as well. Obviously, when I got the 9F, I reviewed it straight out of the box, and any problems which weren't, they weren't immediately obvious because I had it for like less than a day, and then I started reviewing it. So now that I've owned all of my engines for quite some time, I can review them with the knowledge that, it took time for me to realise that the coupling hook had dropped out and it wasn't just a misuse of me doing all the buffers. I mean, I did mention the buffers in the actual video, but I didn't really make a strong point of it. Crazy Games, Josh has asked me to call him, has got to go. Thank you very much for joining, Josh. Nice to see you here in the stream. Thank you for your questions. Interesting to answer. And I've given you your answer and everyone else the answer about how big my layout is. So thank you very much for that. Chris, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining. He said, did you have a look at the building stuff I mentioned in an earlier vid? I've had a brief look at all of them. I've gone through and searched for them, and I've looked and I've put them in my watch later. But that was very helpful. I did pin your comment, but I will have a look because I'm not the sort of person who wants to be building stuff from scratch, or if I have to build it from scratch, I don't want to have to do any painting or weathering or anything like that. I'm not weathering any of my locals, and I'm probably not going to weather much of my scenery or anything like that because I'm a terrible artist. Like, I can't draw, I can't paint, I can't do anything like that. So I think, by judging by what you said in the brief intros of videos I've seen before I save them to my watch later, I think they're going to be useful. So thanks very much for that, Chris. Right, off we pop. Let's get things moving. Tornado and the 08. Nice and slowly. I'm aware that this Pullman coach is flickering. It's just because the voltage isn't high enough, and if I turn it on any higher than the 08, it'll be dragged along. Oh, it's just stopped. Hasn't now. 9F, let's get the right controller. Get her going. And 47 light, nice and slowly, I think. We've had quite a lot of loud trains running today, and I don't want to have bleeding eardrums. Kurt has finally stopped laughing. See there? Ballast needs removing there. Causing a load of problems. It can take weeks to sort that out. My life. Yeah, that's what I mean, Chris. It means if I print it out and then assemble it, then I won't have to do any painting. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to have to do any, and the stuff you've provided seems to be interesting and I've lost my train of thought now. I started reading somebody else's comment. It's derailed again. Let's try and go for a bit more speed. 47 has stopped dead. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I get kits, I'm either going to buy them from like Hornby's Scenic range, their resin cast models, or Bachmann or something like that. But you know, I don't want to have to do anything like that, so I'll have a look at some of them. Class 40 or 33. Now, when I previously said I don't like a Class 33, I didn't realise that West Coast Railways has some 33s in their livery. So if it's 33 West Coast livery, or just a general Class 40, then probably hard to choose between. But if it's just a general 33 and a general 40, then definitely a 40. Would I buy a weathered model? If it was difficult to get other versions of that model at a good price, then yes. But I don't want to weather my already existing models. Don't think the 08's working too well, Kurt. I think it's pushing Tornado off the track. That 47's really not happy on that ballasted area. As I say, a lot needs removing on there. So, you said an 06 though. Oh, that's another thing. The handrails on the 4F have gone loose. You know, this is something I expect on an old model like the 4F, not an expensive £110 9F that's less than a year old. I'm going to have to glue this in as well. It's irritating beyond belief, but whatever. On the main line, that's not really funny. I know it's a joke, but I don't really find it funny, to be fair. It's not really. Okay, I know we joke, we say, you know, love is in the air and all that, but we don't specifically reference specific relationships, do we? 47's not happy. Let's change that to something else. Yeah, we don't. When we say love is in the air, it's more of a joke. Because, well, you're in a healthy relationship by the sounds of it, but I wasn't. So, you know, we don't reference things like that when we say love in the air, so I don't think that's appropriate, so please don't say that again. We don't make fun of you for being in a relationship, and that what you've just said kind of does, and I don't particularly find that funny, and at least we don't reference you being in a specific relationship, so yeah, I know, but I just didn't find the rhyme that funny, to be fair. That's why I didn't read it out, but still, please don't. I'm going to put the German engine on, for the people who might not have seen that. Oh, Tornado and the 4F run so much better together. So much better. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I kind of want a West Coast livery 47 to go with my Virgin 47. You know, I kind of fancy a West Coast 47 or 57. But they're just too expensive, unfortunately. Might have to see. Keep my eye out. Well, it's an 03.1 or 03.10, really. I just call it that German one because it's the only one I've got. Now, if I'm not mistaken, they were actually originally built by the Nazis, I think. If I'm not mistaken. So Google the build date, because I think the 03.10s were the ones that tried to go faster than Mallard. Yeah, I think they do. I quite like the 37s. Well, I've seen them, haven't I? In two of my videos, I've got good I've got WCRC 37s. But I just like EWS 37s. I think I'm wrong with the DBR 310, sorry. I think I've got the dates mixed up with something else. Oh no. I think I'm maybe just correct. Years of manufacture, 1939 to 1941. As a result of the Second World War, only 60 were made. So, technically, yeah, because some were retired in 1944 due to war damage. So I think it might be this engine that was built by the Nazis. Actually, I didn't see that, Kurt. I was too busy on Wikipedia. So rotate this camera around so you can see a bit further down there for a little bit of a change. Might have all three on one camera here. Yay, we have. Epic. I'm not syncing these, by the way. I'm not fiddling with the controllers to try and get them to link up at the same speed. Just how they are. Three on one camera again. Pretty sick. It's nice and quiet, is that German one now? I've put a load of sponge inside as like sound deadening. Will we have all three on one again? Maybe. Oh, just about. Just about. Now, just a question. I've cleared out the ballast from the middle of these tracks here, and I've also reduced the height of the ballast on either side of the runaround loop as well. So I'm wondering, because I haven't actually tested the runaround loop that much after ballasting. I'm going to test to see if it works, but first I need to do a bit of vacuuming. Oh, sorry to hear that on the main line. I just thought it might be an interesting fact. Right, so as I've only done it with the second radius line, but I've removed quite a lot of the ballast that was resting on top of the sleepers. I've also reduced the height of the ballast on either sides. I've also reduced ballast in the middle and on either side here. Still got the ballast reducing in the middle and on the sides and in the middle of the two tracks there to do. But I'm going to see. That'll be done in a couple of weeks. Finished in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to test to see if the second radius line works. This point, by the way, refuses to stay open. Shut, yeah, open. Like, I don't know what's wrong. The metal seems to move. Oh, that's not happy. What's going on? I think it's lost power. I don't think the switch blades are making contact for some reason. That's really annoying. I think the metal needs bending. I'll do that with my screwdriver. Give it a push there. Like, I don't know what's wrong with it. That other point up there is fine. What happened to my phone? I've still got my 14XX, and if I haven't, what happened to it? I've still got it, but it doesn't work because I'm not going to get it out because it's in its box, and I don't know where that box is. It's in the loft. But basically, you had the 4 driving wheels at the front, and then the 2 undriven ones at the back. And basically, it got Mazak rots of the metal between the 4 driving wheels, and the ones that connected the 2 driving wheels broke off. So the back 2 wheels just moved up and down, and they slid side to side, and it wasn't all parallel and straight. So yeah, it's not working. I'm looking to get an Airfix one, or maybe get a new chassis for that one, because the motor's still fine, the details are still fine. It's just the chassis, and I can maybe convert the pickups, but I think I need an entirely new chassis. A new chassis that's already got the pickups fitted, and then I can just bodge in the motor and put the body on, and then it'll be fine. But unfortunately, I haven't got that one. I forgot I had that, to be fair, so I've actually technically got 13, but that one doesn't work. I've also lied about I do all my locos work. No, one of them doesn't. I forget I still own that thing. Used to be the best slow speed engine I'd ever seen. Okay, so the point fixing has worked, apart from the stupid Pullman coach. No. Okay, so it works. It's travelling all right. Just the Pullman coach is not happy. I think maybe the 4F pushing it too much. No. Derailments. Pullman coach is as big as this. Well, Pullmans aren't going to be going on the second line often anyway. I won't ever really use this, just for small freight services maybe. But it works. It works. It goes round fine, just the Pullman's not happy with it. Is it Hornby? It is. I might just have to get an Airfix one, because I'm not spending 40 quid for a new chassis when I can buy an Airfix one for 30. Because when you break engines apart and sell them in different bits, they become more expensive. Okay, each engine is going to have 2 more laps, and then we're going to start wrapping up. I can smell my tea, which usually means it's nearly ready. One more lap from here. No, I'm not. I just want to get one section completely done and completely running perfectly before I run on to another one. I probably have enough to do half of this section over here, but I want this one to be completely ready, and I don't want to ballast the whole layout and then have to go onto each bit again and remove excess ballast. I want to do one completely finish it, and then move on to the next bit. Here comes that German loco. Perfect stock. Although the coach can covers the German loco, but does it really matter? I think not. Interesting stream today, hasn't it? What have we done in today's stream? We've run trains. Well, let's count up everything. I've run some of my trains that I want to run. I've run requests. I've fixed Golden Eagle. I've done some ballast removing. I've done some more ballast removing. I've done 2 sets of hoovering. 7 things we've done in today's stream, and we're only aiming to do 2, so I've over-delivered. Oops. Anyway, good stream today. Good requests. Had some good comments coming in. And yeah, by the way, Kurt, I know you've just put that comment on. I'm only going to start, doing stuff like that when I've completely done ballasting. So I'll do ballast, enjoy running it with a bit of ballast, and then do a bit more scenery, maybe do the static grass, enjoy running it with static grass, do a bit more enjoy running it with a bit more. I'll build it up in stages, you know, fix engines and get new engines in between. But yeah, good stream today. Thanks for all the requests, everyone. Really nice as always. Thanks for all your questions and all that. But yeah, good stream today. Happy with how it went. So, thank you everyone for watching. Oh, sorry, that was a really good time to have a... Oh, sorry, excuse me. Incredibly rude. I'll try again, shall I? So, thank you everyone for watching today's Sunday stream. It really has been lovely reading all of your questions and comments in the live chat. And thank you for all your messages, as they are my favourite part of these live streams. It is just the fact that I am live and I can see discussions coming through in the chat is why I enjoy this stream so much. So much. And it is also just the fact that I get requests from you live, and the fact that well, today I've fixed things live. You've seen me do things on my layout live that you might not necessarily see in another video. Although we have got a ballasting video coming up, well, eventually. Yeah, I'd like it to go on longer, Kurt, as well. But unfortunately, if I started any earlier, then it doesn't really work. I do like to have a life outside of YouTube, and, you know, if I start early, I ain't got... Because it's Sunday, you obviously have a lie-in, you have like a bit of a bacon sandwich for brunch, like late-ish, 11, 12-ish. So if I started any earlier, it'd be get up late, have breakfast, rush upstairs, get everything sorted, come back down. And then, yeah, I'd have stuff after, but then after that, I'd have tea and that. So, yeah, I wish I could start later, and I wish I could do more streams. But unfortunately, with doing YouTube Shorts on Thursdays and Fridays, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to do, you know, another hour and a half stream in the middle of the week. That's 3 hours of stream time, and then, you know, a bit like YouTube Shorts and then a video early in the week. I just don't want to overload the channel, so I'm happy doing an hour and a half. Going on a bit longer just puts stress on my battery levels of everything like that. Computers not looking too healthy. Phones are, well, they're on charging with a power bank, but I just don't want to put too much stress on all my stuff like that anyway. I will hopefully see you on Tuesday for another video, and that next video is a very important announcement about my 250 subscriber special. Some changes have had to go on there, but I'll explain everything in Tuesday's video. So that is Tuesday's video. The video after that will be the East Lancashire Railway Flying Scotsman train spotting video, so stay tuned for that. Do remember to subscribe and give the stream a thumbs up and share it if you enjoyed it, and if you could share a video or two of mine to your friends or somebody you know that would appreciate my channel and watch it and things like that, then that will help out a lot. So thank you all once again for joining the stream. It has been great to have you here, and I do hope to see you all again very, very, very soon. So, yeah, I've enjoyed it. Thanks for all your questions. We've had some good questions. We've established some good things. We've established that my layout has a total area of 5.24 meters squared, which is it's quite a lot, really. Probably not exactly that. It's just near enough. But, yeah, established some good things that we have done today. So, unfortunately, the last thing that I have to say every Tuesday... So, unfortunately, the last thing that I have to say at the end of every Sunday afternoon stream is take care of yourselves and bye for now. And by the way, Kurt, earlier when you said, is that a new intro? Yes, it is. It's a new joining video. It's the same intro that I use for my videos, but that's going to get updated soon because I've realised in that intro there is a clip where I've just got one track running instead of all three, and also I've got ballast on this area, so I'll refilm the sections with the same engines and the same stuff like that, but then I'll add it in so it's ballast. So I'll keep updating the intro as I go. So it was a new joining video. It was a new intro. Was a new joining video. The intro is going to be updated, and that's obviously used for both the intro to streams and the intro to videos, unless it's a train spotting video or a YouTube short. And then the outro for the stream is also different as well. So, take care of yourselves and see you later. Thank you.